We've previously heard lots of speculations regarding Samsung launching a Trifold smartphone into the market in the very near future, maybe branded Galaxy GFold. Unfortunately, the recent speculations reveal a dismal lack of movement for the phone, because it could be stuck with the same charging pace as the standard Galaxy S25. According to leaker Panda Flash Pro, the Samsung Trifold is now sporting a charging speed between 23 and 24 watt, which they believe will probably be sold as 25 watt charging. This is the same charging speed as both the Galaxy Z Fold 6 and the Galaxy S25. But for a phone of this class and projected price tag, I had thought Samsung would push up the maximum charging speed to meet the Galaxy S25 Ultra and Galaxy S25 Plus. Considering the mid-range Galaxy A56 now supports 45 watt charging, this is surprisingly low. Though I'll confess, I'm not all that shocked. Panda Flash Pro subsequently reported that the Trifold would miss out on under-display cameras and opt for a classic hole-punch design instead. And in contrast to the charging speed, given the terrible performance of those cameras, I believe that's clearly for the best. While Samsung likes to push the boundaries of its hardware, particularly premium phones, charging speed has never been one of its strong points. Phones appear to have been locked at 25 watt or 45 watt for the last many years, and it's only lately that 45 watt speeds have been accessible. Samsung's largest competitors, Google and Apple, have likewise lingered at lower speeds. The iPhone 16 Pro Max only received a 45 watt update last year, while the Pixel 9 Pro XL can only achieve 37 watt. But you also have manufacturers like OnePlus, Xiaomi and Huawei, which can give speeds in triple digits. Foldable devices normally don't reach the same heights, but even 67 watt, charging more than twice the pace of a 25 watt charger. Then I'm not quite persuaded this is such a horrible thing. Admittedly, having 25 watt charging speed on an ultra premium phone like the GFold is quite aggravating, but there might be a legitimate reason for it. You have to know that quicker charging typically creates greater heat. If a phone doesn't have the cooling mechanisms in place to disperse that heat, it might destroy the phone. So you could make the argument for some phones to not provide ultra-rapid charging. Without the required cooling chambers and electronics within, it might wind up doing more hurt than good. Considering foldable phones concentrate the design and form aspect, it would make sense for them to have more rudimentary cooling compared to a non-folding Galaxy S phone. Especially when you know the GFold will be the first Samsung phone of its sort. And if the battery life is as excellent as other recent Samsung phones, and other phones with the greatest battery life, rapid charging may not be all that required. We won't know for sure until Samsung officially introduces the phone, which we're anticipating to happen later this year. Samsung Galaxy Trifold. 5 important alleged characteristics, from its screen size to its hinge. It's already been a hectic year for Samsung. The Galaxy S25, Galaxy S25 Plus, and Galaxy S25 Ultra reached stores in January, and the all-new Galaxy S25 Edge is supposedly just around the horizon, but it appears there's one speculated phone that Samsung fans are even more enthusiastic about. For the last several months, we've been hearing more and more about a putative Trifold Samsung Galaxy phone, informally known as the Samsung Galaxy GFold. Though Samsung has offered just one short clue of its multi-fold goals, tipsters and leakers have been especially busy in providing hints and speculations about what may be the next new product line in Samsung's mobile portfolio. Though Samsung isn't technically the first phone company to build a Trifold phone, check the jaw-dropping Huawei Mate X-T, it does have a fair chance of becoming the first to produce a universally accessible Trifold phone. Huawei is forbidden from conducting business in the US, so the Mate X-T won't be available there anytime soon. And as the original pioneers of folding phone technology, many fans will be expecting Samsung to take the reins on the emerging Trifold market. We could be waiting a while still for further official news, but until then, here's a summary of the 5 greatest Samsung Galaxy Trifold speculations. As above, Huawei has already introduced its trifolding Mate X-T handset in select locations, but reports say Samsung may adopt an even more unusual folding mechanism on the GFold. while the hinges on the Mate XT fold in two independent directions. With a cover screen that's technically just a component of the inner display, the GFold might adopt a pamphlet-style form factor, with two panels that fold inwards and lie on top of one another over the core panel. This would undoubtedly be a brave step, although Samsung's official teaser Galaxy Unpacked did reveal a Huawei-style silhouette rather than this pamphlet-style form, so the GFold may not necessarily be a first-of-its-kind smartphone. If the newest Galaxy Trifold display rumors are right, then the phone will come with a genuinely huge inner screen. According to a claim from Korean news site ET News, the GFold would have a 6.49-inch cover screen and a gigantic 9.96-inch inside display. That's nearly as huge as the base model iPad, which comes in at 10.2 inches diagonally, but the GFold is anticipated to include an inner screen with an even wider aspect ratio. For perspective, the current-gen Samsung Galaxy Z Fold 6 boasts a 7.6-inch inner display, while the class-leading Oppo Find N5 sports an amazing 8.12-inch display. Keep in mind that a wider aspect ratio means you'll have more usable area for multitasking and video playback, even if the reported diagonal length of the GFold doesn't appear much greater. Additionally, a 6.49-inch cover screen would be the biggest on a globally accessible folding phone, topping the 6.3-inch cover screens on the Google Pixel 9 Pro Fold, OnePlus Open, and Samsung Galaxy Z Fold 6. As said, Samsung may promote its Trifold phone as the first smartphone in an entirely new product line, rather than as the third model in the Z family, which is presently made up of the Galaxy Z Fold 6. Several speculations have referred to the handset as the Galaxy GFold, which may represent its revolutionary G-shaped folding mechanism or just be a ploy to separate the phone from its Z Fold competitors. If these reports hold true, the name change might represent Samsung's attempt to sell the new phone as a distinct class of device to the Z Fold series, one that could be more enticing to corporate clients. The bigger screen, adaptability, and software familiarity of a trifolding Samsung phone might make the device an enticing alternative for companies and professionals, and a new moniker could help Samsung appeal to this market. Alternatively, Samsung could merely want to play up the uniqueness of their new smartphone. It's worth noting that at the first Galaxy Unpacked event of 2025, the gadget was described to as the multifold rather than trifold, another new moniker, this time for the product category. One of the major obstacles behind making a folding phone is developing a batter that's large enough to sustain three massive interior displays. Thus far, foldable phone producers have decided to divide batteries into two cells, one on each side of the hinge. But this offers problems for battery life, since two cells are never as efficient as a single cell of the same size. However, Samsung has at least one patent for a new technology that might ease this recurring folding issue. Specifically, Samsung possesses a patent for a folding battery. That's a battery that could itself bend with the hinges of a folding phone. Whether this theory would work in reality is another question completely, since the batteries would need to be able to sustain thousands of bends in order to be safe enough to use. Such a battery would also be bigger and heavier than a divided battery, so we're curious to see how Samsung solves this challenge. Within the hallowed corridors of the rumor mill, there's controversy about when, precisely, the Samsung Galaxy Trifold phone will appear. A claim from Korean news site ET News indicates we'll be receiving an official announcement for the Samsung Galaxy Trifold via the upcoming Samsung Galaxy Unpacked, which we'd anticipate to see somewhere in mid to late 2025. If this proves out to be genuine, we might see the Galaxy Trifold revealed with the Samsung Galaxy Z Fold 7. However, as we previously reported, a more recent tip-off claims the Galaxy Trifold won't appear until later in the year, albeit the tipster supplied no context for this assertion. In any event, it's impossible to determine when the Trifold will appear with such an obvious absence of official information and speculations pointing in both ways. The Galaxy Z Fold 7 is rumored to boast a state-of-the-art camera configuration, making it an attractive option for photography fans and content makers. The gadget is said to have a diverse array of lenses intended to take amazing photographs and movies in a range of conditions. These enhanced camera functions position the Z Fold 7 as a flexible tool for taking professional-grade images and films. From wide-angle photos to intricate zooms, the gadget is intended to satisfy the demands of consumers who value photography and filmmaking. The Galaxy Z Fold 7 is likely to maintain Samsung's practice of incorporating the S Pen, further improving its appeal to professionals and creatives. Rumors imply a new S Pen that provides greater ergonomics and functionality, making activities like note-taking, drawing, and document editing more intuitive and efficient. This connection highlights the Z Fold 7's emphasis on productivity, giving users with a flexible tool for both work and creative interests. Whether you're writing ideas, marking papers, or creating digital art, the S Pen is meant to enrich your experience and expedite your workflow. The Galaxy Z Fold 7 is predicted to come with a price range of $1,799 to $1,899, comparable with prior versions in Samsung's foldable series. Mass manufacturing is scheduled to take place in Samsung's facilities in Vietnam, making sure a worldwide release soon after its introduction. Key areas, notably the United States, are expected to see early distribution, making the tablet available to a large audience. Samsung's 2025 foldable portfolio is likely to represent the company's dedication to innovation and market leadership. Alongside the Z Fold 7, reports imply the likely introduction of a Z Flip Fan Edition and potentially another Trifold tablet. These advancements underscore Samsung's devotion to growing its foldable lineup and meeting varied customer requirements. While the Z Fold 7 is positioned as a premium product, it may not be a required upgrade for consumers who are comfortable with smaller displays or those currently owning a Z Fold 5 or 6. However, for those wanting the newest improvements in folding technology, the Z Fold 7 is a tempting alternative that blends innovation, performance, and convenience. If and when a Samsung Galaxy Trifold phone does emerge, it's sure to rocket into a slot on our rankings of the best Samsung phones and the best foldable phones. We'll have the latest developments via our dedicated Samsung Phones coverage. Let us know what you're expecting to see from a Galaxy Trifold phone in the comments below. Stay tuned for more updates and information on the highly anticipated Galaxy Trifold and witness the future of foldable smartphones from Samsung. See you in my next video. Peace out.